Hello, and welcome to Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from around the region and beyond. I'm Braden Parks.
We'll also look at college football across the nation and check out all the latest happenings in pro sports. I'm Colin Hill, and this is Sports Update on EU TV.
We had some good wins for the Crusaders this weekend, some important games, senior night for football, and some very important women's soccer and volleyball games.
Yeah, women's soccer and volleyball both going to their conference tournament and both getting a chance to host in the opening rounds. And so those games on Saturday, they're going to be big wins that are still on the table for volleyball and soccer to continue doing well in their sports that they've done so well in all season.
Yeah, let's get into it. For the last home game of the season, the Evangel Crusaders defeated the Missouri Valley Vikings on Saturday to improve their record to 8-1. The first half was mostly a defensive struggle, with each team making multiple necessary stops. The Vikings struck first on a field goal in the first quarter, but the Crusaders were able to answer with a 67-yard punt return by Jansen Ackland in the second quarter. Just after halftime, quarterback Cameron Hardesty gave the Crusaders 2 touchdowns with passes to Sam Buckner and Jansen Ackland. Missouri Valley struck again early in the fourth, putting them behind by just 4. However, the Crusaders were able to run out the clock and then secure a last-second safety to defeat the Vikings 24-17.
The EU women's soccer squad fell in their final match of the regular season play at home against the 21st-ranked Benedictine Ravens. After a defensively dominated first half, the Ravens turned it around in the second, netting 3 goals against the Crusader defense. It was the 54th minute when Nicole Kelly struck for the first goal, and just a little under 8 minutes later, she would connect again. Emily Amboul picked up the assist on each of the first 2 goals before she buried a shot herself in the 80th minute to secure the 3-0 victory for Benedictine. The Crusaders finished the season 4th in the Heart of America Athletic Conference and will host Missouri Valley in the quarterfinals on Saturday. The Crusader women's basketball team tipped off their 2019-2020 schedule in Oklahoma City against Mid-America Christian. After a back-and-forth first quarter ended 19 apiece, Mid-America Christian rode Aaliyah Ensley in the final 6 minutes of the half as she scored 8 points and turned a 1-point deficit into an 8-point lead. By the intermission, Evangel stormed back in the second half, dropping 26 in the third, before the defense stepped up and held Mid-America Christian to just 11 in the fourth. The Crusaders had chances to win in regulation, but all were unsuccessful. Mid-America took care of business in overtime and sent the Crusaders away with an 89-86 overtime defeat. Evangel shot 38% from 3 and got a double-double from Lexi Vaught in the loss.
The Evangel men's basketball team lost a close season opener on Saturday as they were unable to mount a comeback in the final seconds of the game. Trinity Christian was able to nail 12 three-pointers on the Crusaders to give them the edge in a neck-and-neck contest. The Crusaders were unable to see the same consistency at the three-point line, going just 5 for 16, but they were able to capitalize on the Trolls' 19 turnovers. In a true game of inches, Idriel Martinborough was able to put the Crusaders within 2 with a layup in the last 4 seconds. However, we were unable to capitalize and win. Martinborough was the top scorer for the Crusaders, notching 18 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in the loss. Final score, 88-85 Trolls.
Crusader volleyball is rolling as they head into the conference tournament. They rode into Atchison, Kansas Thursday on a 3-match winning streak and did not disappoint. The match started with the Crusaders and Benedictine Ravens deadlocked for 5th in the conference standings. However, the Ravens could not stop the balance-hitting barrage the Crusaders subjected them to the entire evening. As a team, Evangel hit an incredible 394. Lefty Reagan Ansley led the charge with 10 kills, but was definitely not alone as Tori Lowry, Kristen Johnson, and Daisy Eklund each added 9. The straight-set win catapulted the Crusaders to their 4th consecutive straight-set victory, and they will now host Mount Mercy on Saturday in the conference tournament quarterfinals.
Some very close matchups this weekend with some really close nail-biting losses for the Open for both men's and women's basketball, but we got that nice win for football.
Yeah, football played well. It was a game that they probably should have won by a little bit more, but again, by the end of the season in college football, wins are wins and you don't really care how you get them. And for basketball, they showed a lot of promise. They both played very good teams on the road, and each team had opportunities to win the game down the stretch. And so you've got to be you got to like what you've seen so far from these basketball teams as they head into their about to head into their home stretches of the season.
For sure, for sure. Well, up next, we will be interviewing senior men's soccer player Josiah Dinwiddie.
We'll be right back.
Catch all the HD broadcasts of Evangel Sports on EU TV through livestream.com. EU TV features weekly programs like Sports Update and News Watch Today. You can also see award-winning student films from Evangel filmmakers. Evangel University Television broadcasts to Evangel dorms on channels 12 and 35-1. You can also find EU TV on Mediacom Channel 84 in Springfield. And now, EU TV is on livestream.com, broadcasting on the web 24 hours a day. So check it out. Go to livestream.com, enter EU TV in the search box, and click on the EU icon. EU TV, the home of edutainment.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
We all have a need to experience life with others. To not be just another face in the crowd, but to have a small community we can call family. We need to receive individual guidance from the wise and be sharpened by those we live with from day to day. We treasure the traditions of those who have gone before us and form lasting friendships with those who cross our path, knowing that the skills, the memories, and the relationships we formed will journey with us, no matter where we go. Evangel University.
I'm here with senior goalie Josiah Dinwiddie of the men's soccer team. Thank you, Josiah, for being with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I love it.
No problem. So you just finished your season. How, in your view, do you think the team played this season?
You know what? I think we had a very successful season in terms of our history. A lot of the teams that we've played in the past, since we are a new program, they have had their way with us. They've been heads and shoulders above us in terms of playing. But this year we really stepped up our game, and teams that we would lose to 5-0, 6-0 in the past, we lost to 1-2, 2-1. We'd beat them. You know, so like we really took a lot of steps forward this year in growing the program, and just it's really exciting to see where the program is going to be taken next, because the future's so exciting.
Really holding your own now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what do you think changed in this season compared to last season? Was it the preparation, the coaching, the personnel? What do you think was the big factor?
Yeah, I'd say it's a bit of everything. Our coach Jeff Reinhold, his first year was last year, and so just a whole year of him, coaching under our belt was a really big advantage coming into the off season, knowing what to expect, what he demands from us, and as players. Plus, we had a really good recruiting class. We picked up several really good freshmen. That some are local, some are from like around the United States, but a lot of them really stepped up and took on really big roles on the team. A lot of defenders actually ended up being freshmen. So a lot of new recruits really stepped up and worked really hard for us and performed really well in some situations that you wouldn't normally put a freshman in. But it was really exciting seeing them grow from kind of like that nervous freshman that first game to the experienced veteran it seemed like at the end of the season. So people really just stepping up, working hard, really helped take us to the next level this year. So.
Interesting. So I understand you're a team captain. How do you think that plays into your relationship with the new recruiting class or the freshmen that just come in this year?
Yeah, well, as a captain, I try to I want to make sure everyone on the team is welcome, and it was like that before I was ever captain. That's just kind of my personality. I really want to make sure everyone feels welcome on the team, because when you feel welcome on the team, it helps you so much more than you feeling kind of like unsure. Like when you walk in as a freshman, I know I felt as a freshman. I was like, man, this is a whole new thing. This is college soccer. Like, this is not high school soccer anymore. It can be intimidating. So as a captain, especially now, I want to make sure, like, hey, I want to make these guys feel welcome so they're able to perform at their highest level and really have the best experience they can.
And so what does it mean for you personally to be a captain?
Well, personally, I'd say it's like the title. If you throw that title away, I really don't want to change the person I am out there. I want to be the guy that people can come to on the team if they need anything, soccer related or not soccer related. I want to be that guy for them. I want to be a friend, and I want to be a teammate that works really hard for them every game. I want them to be able to look at me and say, that's a guy that I'm going to work hard for. Especially with me being the goalkeeper, I'm going to work my hardest so that my teammates see that and that they work hard for me in return.
Interesting. That's great. So besides your personal and your personality your personality traits that add to the team's success or the overall team energy, how do you think your personal physical and soccer skills add to the team's success?
Mm-hmm. Well, as a goalkeeper, I've had a lot of experience as a goalkeeper ever since I started playing goalie in about 5th grade. So ever since 5th grade, I've been working really hard and developing my craft, because being a goalkeeper, like, the worst thing that can happen is getting scored on, and it happens quite a bit. So it really, from an early age, it really gave me a lot of motivation. It's like, I hate that feeling of getting scored on. So just working hard, developing my skills has really helped me prepare for my time as a college athlete. So I'd say some of my biggest strengths are my speed, my quickness in goal, and I make up for my lack of height, because a typical college goalie is going to be over 6 foot tall, and I'm only 5'10". And a lot of them that we play against they're like 6'4". There's some really big guys out there, and I'm the shortest goalkeeper in the conference. But I like to think I make up with it with my speed and quickness. So those are probably my 2 biggest strengths that I used on the field to help out my team.
That's great. And so you talked earlier about some really good new defensive players. Would you say that the men's soccer team is more of a defensive powerhouse or an offensive powerhouse?
It's tough to say, because the best teams are both, and they're able to use both to your advantage. But I'd say our focus for the future in turning into the team we want to be is we want to be a team that attacks really well, because there's a saying that goes, the best defense is a great attack. So if we're constantly attacking the other team, they're not even going to have time to come and attack back at us. So I'd say our focus is going to be more on the offensive end, but we're definitely a balanced team, and that's something that's going to be continued throughout the years. It's going to be a balanced team with a heavy focus in the attack.
And so coming from this leadership position on the team, how do you see this team going next season? How do you see this progression of the team?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I have so much faith in my guys to pick up where we left off and just take it to new heights. I really think that next year is going to be an amazing year for our team. Us seniors, we're leaving the team in some really good hands. Me personally, there's my backup goalie, Anthony. He's a freshman this year. I've seen him develop this year, and he is going to be a stud in the goal for the next 3 years. So Evangel does not have to worry about me leaving, because we got a great guy coming in. And honestly, I think the team's going to be just going to keep getting better and better each year after we leave. And that's like the goal. That's like why I came into the Evangel soccer team as a freshman. I saw the first year of the program was my senior year in high school, and I got recruited here, and I looked at the record, and they didn't win any games, but I was excited about developing like this team, this program, because I knew it could be so much more, and I'm leaving it now, and I believe in very good, capable hands. I'm really excited to see where the team takes in the next few years.
That's awesome. That's a great attitude to have.
Thanks, man.
So one last question. what do you think, besides the things that we've discussed, sets Evangel's soccer program apart from other programs? The whole deal, the whole practice, the way that you guys conduct yourselves as a team, the way you guys conduct yourselves personally. What do you think is really the big difference maker?
Great question. It's definitely our faith in God. Our team, after every game that we play, no matter what happens on the field, no matter if someone on our team gets in a fight with someone else, but we end the game by praying with the other team, because that's what is most important in our lives. We go to God after every game and we thank Him for all that He's given us, whether it's a win on the field or if it's praying for injuries, man. We go to God because He's why we're there at the end of the day. We're not doing it for ourselves or for anyone else. We're just doing it to praise God and bring Him glory. And I hope that the way I played in my 4 years at college here at Evangel, I hope that people can see that I was playing for God instead of playing for myself. So that's really the focus of our team, and I think that's what sets us apart.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you being on the show with us.
Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. Coming up, we will be reviewing college football, Chiefs versus Vikings, and a final wrap on the World Series. Stay tuned.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
The world is waiting for you to make an impact in the career field God has called you to. He has equipped you with the creativity, skills, and talents you need to be successful. And at Evangel, you'll be empowered with a dynamic education and a spirit-led community that will help turn His design into your life's calling for global ministry in every vocation. Unleash your potential. Visit us today.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
For a second consecutive week, the Kansas City Chiefs took to the gridiron without their MVP quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. In order to avoid a fourth consecutive home loss, they would have to take down Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. Kansas City opened the scoring with a 41-yard throw from Matt Moore and an incredible catch by Tyreek Hill for the opening score. Cousins of the Vikings would counter on the next drive with a touchdown of their own, and McCole Hardman fumbled the second half kickoff, which turned into a Vikings touchdown. That lead did not last long, however, as Damian Williams tied a Chiefs record with a 91-yard scoring scamper. In the end, Kansas City needed a Harrison Butker 54-yard game-tying field goal before he hit the game winner from 44. Chiefs 26, Vikings 23.
Wednesday night, the Washington Nationals defeated the Houston Astros, becoming the first team in MLB history to win the championship without winning a single home game in the World Series. The Nationals were founded in 2005, and after an impressive and aggressive postseason tear dictated by their electric hitting and lights-out bullpen, they attended and won the franchise's first championship. The Astros attended their second World Series in the last 3 years, but fell short due to the inability to shut down Nationals hitters. The Nats were able to steal Game 7 by exploiting the Astros relievers, scoring 6 runs in the last 3 innings, including a 2-run homer from Howie Kendrick, a 2-out RBI from Juan Soto, and a 2-run single in the top of the 9th from Adam Eaton. Final score, 6-2 Nationals. The Kansas State Wildcats were able to defeat the Kansas University Jayhawks on Saturday in the Sunflower Showdown. The Wildcats continued their momentum by posting 342 rushing yards to the Jayhawks 61. Cats quarterback Skylar Thompson had 3 rushing touchdowns himself, along with 127 yards. KU receiver Andrew Parchment summed up the game saying, "We simply couldn't run the ball, we couldn't protect the quarterback, and we couldn't stop them defensively." That certainly seemed to be the case as K-State's defense forced 2 interceptions and restrained KU's star running back, Puka Williams, while the Jayhawks had one of their worst losses of the season. Saturday's game was KU's first sellout crowd in 10 years.
A top 10 college football matchup saw the 8th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs and the 6th-ranked Florida Gators clash when their rivalry renewed Saturday in Jacksonville. Georgia held the Gators to just a field goal in the first half, while they had a short 3-yard touchdown from Jake Fromm to Dominic Blaylock, sandwiched between a couple of field goals. Georgia added another field goal early in the third to push their lead to 16-3. After a Gator touchdown, Fromm found Lawrence Cager for a 51-yard score up the left sideline. Florida found the end zone again with about 3 minutes to go, but they never got the ball back as the Bulldogs ran out the clock. Fromm finished 20 of 30 for 279 yards and got some help from DeAndre Swift, who carried 25 times for 86 yards in the 24-17 Georgia win.
Well, how about that? Nationals winning their first World Series, the first one they attended, in a really spectacular fashion.
Well, and we forget to mention they didn't win any home games. Neither of the teams won at home. Yeah. And also, this was the first year in which the Nationals even won a postseason series, let alone going all the way and winning the World Series.
That's incredible. And then in some other sports news, we have the Patriots suffering their first loss of the season at the hands of Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, which was really a spectacular game if you could catch it, and just really Lamar was able to pick apart that incredible Patriots defense.
Yeah, the Patriots defense, who had only given up just a little bit over 7 points a game, laid an egg and gave up 37 to Lamar Jackson. And I think it just shows how formidable this Ravens team really is whenever Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, and that entire offense can roll with the defense they have.
For sure, for sure. Well, why don't we look at what's coming up next for Crusader Sports? Football will be playing Central Methodist in Fayetteville, Missouri, Saturday, November 9th.
The Evangel Crusader volleyball team will take on Mount Mercy in the Hart Volleyball Tournament quarterfinals on Saturday.
Men's basketball has 4 games coming up. They will be playing C of O on Tuesday, Baptiste Bible on Wednesday, Missouri Valley on Friday, and William Baptist on Saturday.
Women's basketball will also travel to C of O on Tuesday before heading to Johnson County Christian College and playing Fort Scott Christian College in Fort Scott, Kansas on Thursday and Friday, respectively.
Women's soccer will begin postseason play this Saturday, the 9th.
Cross country will be participating in the Hart Championships on November 9th in Fayette, Missouri.
Well, that's all the time we have today for Sports Update. I'm Braden Parks.
And I'm Colin Hill. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. This has been Sports Update on EU TV.